darlings, now we're living high as we take off and fly from here in 9,000 feet high in the Rocky Mountain sky. Oh, yeah. Boy, you ought to see that weather out there this morning, man. It's like Anchorage or something in July, not Colorado, but here we are, an Anchorage summer right here in the high deserts of Colorado. Isn't that amazing, baby? Big old fog bank growing across the valley out there, actually coming this way. I hope there's enough sunlight to burn it away. Man, it's just really unusual to have this in July, especially going into August. It's like July 21 already, baby. Wow. I tell you, this whole earth is changing, ain't she, baby? Our illusions about it, too, right along with it. Oh, babies, yeah. Speaking of which, somebody brought up the subject of, oh, yeah, we love you guys so much. So in the chat room there of Lucid Dreaming and, told us of a little dream that had gone on. And, so I thought, wow, maybe we ought to just chat about that here for just a wee bit, man, because what we're doing here each and every day, in a funny sort of way, is lucid dreaming, man, right here in the Coyote Medicine Show. Only on the Hazy Radio Network, don't you know, babies, your medicine in the morning, your wake-up call, and then some, babies. I salute you with my official Coyote Club mug. And this one happens to be the Mary Jane Gateway to Paradise mug. Oh, you love it, babies. You got to get one. Give a couple to your friend. Ooh, man, that's good coffee. And give a couple to your friends, too, man. Wow. I hope they didn't sound too rough, man. Sometimes I tend to slurp in my coffee and choke on it, man. You get lazy in your old days, man. You don't want to even lift the coffee cup up to your lip. Honey, peel me a grape, will you, baby, please? Well, I got a lot of babies hanging around here, man. Lots of angelic assistants, etc. The gee whiz, ain't nobody here peeling me no grape. I don't know what I'm going to do, guys. Maybe I'll have to do a lucid dream with you. How about that, baby? Well, we do it all the dang time, see? Lucid dreaming, now, which is a state of dream where you're kind of still awake inside of your bodily presence, but you're dreaming and you're kind of controlling the flow of the dream. It kind of goes the way you think you want it to, There's some kind of, you're at the steering wheel. You got your hand on the gear shift and you're just hauling ass, man, Probably a bright red Ferrari, 185 down through a residential neighborhood. Get them kids out of the way, man. Oh, shit. No. But see, you can dream it any way you want it. Because if you want to do your little red Ferrari, 185 through a residential neighborhood, if you're that frickin' nuts, well, you can dream it that way and just dream all the kids hidden before you ever get there, man. No dogs, no cats, no nothing out in the street. Nobody. Just clear the deck, babies. See, you can have it any way you want to dream it. That way you could do that, see? And no cop on earth is going to arrest you because there ain't no cops in that kind of earth because you just created that earth right there. So you could be an idiot and get away with it. Human beings are like that. We like being idiots and getting away with it, Strange behavior, is it not? But it's also highly suggestive of our angelic/creative nature, the divine inside of us. See, when you're participating in kind of a lucid dream like that, you're really experiencing your creative powers, how they really and truthfully are, how wild and alive and real your imagination can be, and how it's always truthfully, even though it may be warped in some of its expressions, it's always truthfully trying to create a paradise for you. Well, trying is not the word. It does create a paradise for you. And see, it's up to you to step into it and live it. And lucid dreaming is just a practical suggestion along the way. Just a way of saying, look, this is how we create. Do you remember now? Are you starting to wake up? You see? So in this dreaming sort of way on this Coyote Medicine Show, old Grandpa Coyote at the helm here in Studio 420, man. Babies, poised for takeoff anytime you're ready, babies. Well, here we are, alive and living in a singular heart. As we experience our presence musically through the tunage that makes your heart large, as well as, you know, the frank little, fun little rap sessions we have going on here. I call it rap and roll on the Rock and Roll Medicine Show. You gotta know, as the Coyote Medicine Show, only on the Hazy Radio Network. And boy, I hate to repeat it, but I love it so. Don't you, you know? I don't hate nothing, really, man. It's just a term, man. That's one I've got to drop from my vocabulary, because I don't hate nothing, you know. But I can see how it is to love to hate, because I've seen those elements in myself, you know. You know, I can't say I haven't practiced in the past stuff that would knock you on your ass. Of course I have. Who hasn't, you know? You divine little rock stars, you. I mean, you know, we are rock stars. We're allowed a certain indulgence in our teenager-hooded nature, you know, and we can tear the walls out of the hotel and turn 3 rooms into one and party. Whatever we want to be. In that lucid dreaming sort of way. It's like spring break all the time, babies. You don't have to, you know, you can just let yourself go. You know, you've been under all this pressure all this time in this life living, trying to get by economically and emotionally and spiritually and trying to figure a frickin' thread of common sense through the whole mess of it. Doesn't seem to be much of that left anymore. Well, that's because sense never was very common. We were wild little things, man. We let ourselves get took over by some very passionate beings that really liked hatred, you know, and thought that we should practice that regularly. You know, hate your booty, and everybody else's too. That was the other way around, you know. That's how we got found, man, was by coming undone in that kind of way, man. Hate. Hate your neighbor. Hate your neighbor. They smell bad, they look funny, and they drive oddball cars, man. I don't like the looks of that UFO in their garage at all. I'm jealous. Where can I get mine? Oh, God, we're so undivine, you know, when we're living in that hateful side, ain't we, babies? But you see the divine comedy in it. You see the coyote way in it. You know, only by being so hateful could we learn to laugh our asses off and quit taking everything so god dang serious and learn to relax, take it easy. You know, have a cup of coffee in the morning with Grandpa and your Grandma and everybody else that happens to be hanging around here. Man alive, I tell you what, there's more flirts in a skirt around here than there is flies in China, man. Let me tell you, and that's a lot. Oh, my. Mary Jane Gateway to Paradise. Get your official Coyote Club mugs, hand imprinted by Grandpa himself, you know, here in the 9,000 feet high spaceship love, man. Ooh, and I give it the kiss of a dove when I send it your way. Very special energy. Some people think it's the Holy Grail or something, you know. Well, really, it's just the Ark and the Covenant expressing itself very poetically and comically in that coyote sort of way. Mary Jane, Gateway to Paradise. Think about it. I think we explained that yesterday. It's the Ark and the Covenant right there, baby. It's the rock and the roll and the medicine for your soul. So get on over to the ecoyoteclub.com. Coyote spelled with a K, and so's the club, by the way. K is the way when you're thinking about Grandpa, Jipa Coyote. Because we're here to help you find a way as we kind of stumble through it with you too, babies. You know, we all in it together, but isn't it fun to feel your way around? Talk about the practice of our teenagerhood. Here we go again, baby. I don't think, you know, quite honestly, a human being has ever grown beyond the age of 3. You know, we're all still pretty primal in our inner feelings, man. You know, if we're honest with ourselves, what we really go through here, you know, in that very primal way. And if you look, you know, really honestly in this lucid dreaming sort of way, you see that all the elements you've dealt with, you know, jealousy, rage, envy, all that shit, you know, those hateful kind of things just come from this need to be fulfilled. You know, you see others as fulfilled and you feel denied in yourself. Some kind of jealous little 3-year-old presence says, I want all the marbles and you got it before I could. Something like that's going on, babies, you see. Of course, nowadays they're arguing over cell phones in kindergarten. Mine. You got a better one than I do. How'd you do that? In kindergarten, man, poor kids. Time they get up to 12th grade, they're in wheelchairs already and on crutches, man. They're done, man. They go through a whole life in 18 years flat. Boom. I felt like I did at one time. Let me tell you. Still feel that way sometimes, but I ain't worn out, babies. I'm just wearing in. You know what I mean? He says with a grin, you know, this is the year of 6 and 7, the year made in heaven, you know, which, comes down to a 13, which is a 4. So that's the angel, man. You see, 4 is the angels every time, man. 4, 4, 4, give me more and more and more. Because I like them angels, don't you know? I like hanging out with them. You see, and you would think that was lucid dreaming on my part, to be sitting here partying down with the angels, right? Because, you know, it can't be a reality, right? Well, babies, when you feel their presence all around you, when they communicate with you through the heart, etc., and you got a little partnership going on here, well, I mean, you know, you're living it. You don't have to believe nothing. It's a reality. See, this is how things are changing here. You know, it really is kind of a lucid dream in a sense, you know, but not so much in the sense that we control it, but it is, you know, basically tempered through the heart. That's where it is created, what I call the heart presence or the heart conscious presence. So it's mostly we feel it in our chest in a variety of ways, but eventually it all centers right here in the midst of your chest, man. And that's where the energy is of creation. It's the light of life flowing through you, spoken from your heart. And what it creates, you live in as a person, but also as the person of everything else that's around you. You feel it, you live it, you are it. See, it's beyond lucid dreaming. It's something we all experience together, so it is like a lucid dream. Yes, we're all in it together. There's a singular presence of consciousness compelling us forward in our personal sort of way, in our one little aspect of the reality that we're a specialist in. And each and every one of us then is a saint for doing it, you know, to be able to just be here and share your vibration in whatever way you've been led to play is an awesome and amazing experience for every human heart and soul that lives here. Every life is valued beyond compare. Every living person is a dreaming heart in creation, experiencing its own love in its own way. And babies, no matter what it feels like or how mean it can get, it's a righteous thing, man. You allow yourself to be in these places quite often where others wouldn't dare to play, because you know you can get it underway and you can transform the worst of it along with the best of it. You don't have to be in that judgmental place any longer where this hurts and that don't, and so on and so forth. I mean, we move beyond the avenues of pain in this way. And yeah, it's a work in progress, but notice how inside that dead part that you didn't even know you had, I mean, you didn't even feel it because it was so dead. But notice there's life returning, and there might be some painful releases coming from that energetic area. Just be ready for it, you know. For most it's on your right side, for some it's on your left, but it still makes you feel kind of divided inside. So the energy is what we're getting into here as we're awakening all parts of ourselves is united. In that center part of our being actually runs from your toes to your head and way beyond. It's, you know, it's your auric field, it's your real energy, it's your real person. Living inside the crystalline magic of a spherical rainbowic love created of life, the very heart of love, the very center of love. The beautiful artistic work of creation known as you. That presence which is here to express and experience love, that has felt so denied of its presence so many times before. It's gone there, gone here, gone everywhere, looking for that elusive thing, and there it is inside, taking us for this ride. Yeah, it's kind of a comedy, baby. It's a very coyote thing. What you seek the most, you never seem to find. Yet, if you just slow down a little bit, it catches up to you. And you get your view clear, and you know it's divine. You know that the love you've been looking for is always inside you in this creation too. Always in every way. It's given to be that. It's the lucid dream of creation, emoting itself forward from the ocean of love which goes on forever, without beginning or end. The treasures to be found here then are limitless, and we can create out of it anything we want, when we're feeling it in this communal heart that we share. Just right here, right now, on this Coyote Medicine Show, only on the Hazy Radio Network, across this planetary reality in many different ways, yet at the same level, at the same time, awakening within to the presence of this feeling thing we call the divine, which is our ability to be in creation and experience it fully. That's why we're given these bodily vessels, these harbors of love, these temples of truth, to learn to feel and be real in creation, to let our wildest fantasy refine itself to be the paradise in which we live. Everything we ever wanted that we thought would make us happy dissolves into the true thing that is happy, always, in every moment that it's ever lived, and has only been running from that simple suggestion since forever, don't you know? We really are the happy little children on the playground, and we're really not arguing over the marbles. That's where we stepped away from ourselves, when we started feeling less than full and complete, less than happy, in other words. And this happiness is what we feel right now. See how we release all parts inside of ourselves to experience it? And then we see an end to divisions. You know, there really are not chakras and dimensions or any other way we've divided ourselves. There's just delightful ways of being that are quite pleasing to the soul presence of the heart. And it loves to experience its love as you, as well as the rest of the universe too. See, our most primal call is for a return to the loving heart, that which loves us supremely, and literally worships our presence for being in the way that only a mother can. How gratefully she delights in her created baby children's, man. She knows how it is to live in the presence of another, yet to give that other its space and let it be what it needs to be, and let it grow as it will, and love it for it, even if it becomes a criminal, or the arousal of an ancient saint, or something like that, or you know, maybe a bureaucrat. Poor kid. But she lets them be what they need to be, and just lets them move on with it, you know. And of course, in her own gentle way, from a distance, because she's a very discreet and gracious mother, she knows how to guide and direct the energies around you a little bit, and sends beautiful, loving angels to assist your presence in moving in a more divine direction always, you know. And the more you listen to your heart, the more you hear the voices of those angels moving you, the more you experience their presence, and soon, you become present with them because you become conscious. You see the veils start to fall from your eyes, and then you see what a tremendous group effort has been going on here throughout this entirety of this play, this existence we've lived in, this creation we call time. A huge production of the most gigantic movie company ever assembled. You know, wow. It's, you know, staging and production just goes off the charts, and the quality has been there. It was so believable. Such a great movie. I mean, everybody that lived in it believed it into creation. All of us, man, we're the finest method actors ever invented. Each and every one of us. We can live this personal paradise inside of a motion picture and believe it into being. Well, in the same way, we just expand a little bit beyond that, and we see the set and the cameras and the crew, and we know what the motion picture is all about. We start to remember, you know, we're stepping back into our real role, which is as the actor that created the role in the play. You see, it's just grand staging, baby. And beautifully so. How else could you challenge yourself off the charts but not really hurt anything or anybody, you know? Creation cannot harm itself. This is a truth that many are just beginning to experience now. But in so doing, you neutralize the toxicity of the weaponry around you, let alone the weaponry you've held inside against others to keep yourself protected. Lived in fear, in other words. The guns of Navarone sound no more. They've been silenced for a long time now, and never again will they fire upon the persons of humanity. Not ever in any sort of way. It's over with, babies. The true heart has arrived, and it's here to play. And now we get to have our untwisting Tuesday and dance away, wouldn't you say? 'Cause our wake-up call is here, and our heart is arising clear inside, and we know what we're here to create, and guess what? We know how to do it, too. Just let it flow through us, babies. We perfect the world around us. You can't get caught up in the staging and expect to fix up your role in the play. It doesn't work that way. Let go of the staging. See what's really here, in other words. Commune with your heart, the angels that be. Let them take you through this lucid dream we call reality into the creative aspect of everything. The divine desire to be the full heart presence in everything. And finally we find that place. Finally we receive of it. In a very male and female sort of way, but it is not isolated in the poles of male and female any longer. It's a genuine urgency to create and share in creation. Not a hollow, empty need, an anger that won't bring us love. No, this is the full presence celebrating itself into creation. The full presence in you and I, and all that live and all that fly. As we is the angels in the sky, as well as those that traipse upon the earth. Sometimes as tiny little hobos, just kind of plodding our way through and begging, for a job every now and then when we feel like we need to eat. See? We're moving beyond that into the creative hobo that creates the whole world around him and always provides for himself and others fully and ever presently, because that's the gracious nature of the heart of the mother love that keeps us going strong, man, that lives inside of us. And we're all the divine children of the Mother, the original one that lives in everyone, which is our heart in motion, compelled into being by the bright light of the sun, which is her son, her lover, her united self. The heart and the sun, they are one. The Mother and Father live as a singular presence in a triangulated energy. Oh, baby, the presence of reality. Isn't it awesome to be living in it? See how the lucid dream works? See what the real production is? You see how? And then you can wake up from this dream anytime you want, baby. We're doing it now. And how? So says Grandpa, flying steady. Yes, indeedy. Here on this Coyote Medicine Show. Only on the Hazy Radio Network. Gang of angels flying with us too, don't you know, you sweet little vibe tribe. Shout out to y'all. If you guys ain't in the chat room, get your bodies over there. We got some interesting shite going on this morning, man. Rock. Go, babies. Holy shite. Time passages and then some when you take flight here each and every day with Grandpa Coyote with the Coyote Medicine Show underway. Yes, indeed, your wake-up call and so much more. Radiating high here in the Rocky Mountain sky, the radiant love of life itself coming to you and me and all the rest of us, don't you see? The Vibe Tribe unite in the energy of our love and flight. Yes, indeed, babies. You got that right. We know how to live because we know how to share, baby, because we know how to care, because we do. And we are, and we're real in it, too, babies. And we can have a dream in it wherever we want it to be, whatever we want to do. That's what sets us free, just living in that flow quite naturally. And it's not a pig-headed sort of thing. I want mine, you can't have it. That kind of thing. Not at all, babies. Not at all. It's more like, wow, I love you so. Let me share the greater flow of my ever-loving heart with you. 'Cause, darling, you're the only one that'll do, each and every one of you, don't you see? It's the Vibe Tribe arising quite naturally and sharing what they're caring about. Yes, indeed. And what is this? The grand experience in living. The family unite in a tribe just right, an energetic love of a harmonic vibe that just fits perfectly in with all of the reality, don't you see? And then you don't got to worry about no Nephilim coming around and picking on you, man. Shoot, baby, them gigantic things are just gigantic little love bunnies, man. Everything else in this reality is too, babies, you know, one way or to other. So I'm not so sure about mosquitoes, but everything else is pure love, man. Even the Nephilims, man. And they have come to realize that too, you know. Guys, we got all these frickin' stories and legends and all this fear-mongering going on right now, you know. It's the end of everything. They're going to take over. Shit, they took over so long ago, you don't even know it's you anymore, babies. Shit. Come on, wise up, wake up. Get back in the flow of your heart, don't you know? And just integrate everything inside. It's real simple. I mean, it's just like boiling down, you know, a little country stew, man, a little hobo stew. You put a pot of water on the fire and you get it boiling. You start throwing crap in it, man. And pretty soon you got one hell of a delicious stew. Because you just put in whatever you had to. Whatever you had laying around, man, you could chop up and throw in there. There it goes, baby. See, that's our life, don't you know? That's a living work of art. And just like the hobo stew, you make it a campfire, which always comes out just right. No matter how many people are adding or not adding to it or whatever, even if it starts out with just boiling a stone just to get a little flavor in it, it always comes out perfectly, just right. Naturally so, because the folks that are living as the hobo and sharing them ingredients too, they're the ones that are living in that stew. It's the heart that makes it just right, no matter what you throw into it. Don't you see, dear? Could be buffalo, could be green chili peppers, could be some really righteous sweet onions from down there in Fort Stockton, Texas, etc., where they grow about a foot wide. I mean, those are large onions, man. Takes a lot of water to get an onion to that place, let me tell you. Peel those layers away, man. Ooh, and eat every one of them, too. Straight up if you dare, man. It's so sweet you really could. You know, an onion lover could eat them like an apple. I wouldn't do it, but I love onions, too. But, well, maybe I would if somebody dared me, wanted to pay me to or something. But just for that reason only. Oh, the commercial aspects of the Coyote are coming out now. His real, true agenda is being shown. It's the money again. Oh, God damn, everybody's corrupt. There ain't nobody. Well, babies, I don't sell out for the money. The money sells out for me. This is kind of the way it works, you know. It gives up its staunch reality and says, okay, Coyote, we'll share with you. Because we got a little bit, and what the hell, that's what we do, you know. It's just the way it works, baby. You want to purify the money that's burned up in blood, you know, well, you give it to the good people and let them hand it out to the folks that really richly deserve it, man, you know, and get things rocking in this reality. We finance and fund the greatest party the reality has ever seen. And it starts right here each and every day as we get underway in that Coyote way on this Coyote Medicine Show, though. Oh, babies, and where is it? But on the Hazy Radio Network. Rocking this network you ever found. Happiest hearts you ever found dancing around this universal life, man. Wow. Because that's what we do so well, man. It's dancing, man. That's what you do, is you dance your way out of hell, man. Oh, yeah. And then you realize it's paradise. And it's twice as nice as it was before. Because, darlings, we got into it and we evened the score. We don't play it that old way no more. Angel judgment, don't you see? It just all flows together in equity. And, babies, that's what we make it, so that's what we be. It's our way of dreaming it, don't you see? That's what we're here for, babies, is to remember the love of which we are created. And then to be participated within that grand love, great love, don't you see? Starts with a little barbecue on the shores of Lake Huron, I'm beginning to hear now. There's some rumors flying around the chat room, guys. If you ain't over there, you better get there. You might miss the party. Oh, goodness. That is some precious and divine coffee this morning that I have poured for myself. Thank you for the energy of love that you guys have poured into my sacred little mug there, you know. And again, I remind you, if you ain't got your mug to sip on your coffee drug, well, you better get with the program, Mary Jane Gateway to Paradise. I got a mug waiting for you. I also got some Creststone mugs. It's a new design I got there. So if you don't see it on the front page, go look for it in the mug shop, yeah, right there on the, there's a little, you know, what do you call those things where you click on other pages there? It's there. Just click on the mug shoppy and get yourself over there and take a look at that Creststone mug. It might be just the one for you, man, you know. And then again, there's the grandpa mug too, man. You could drink out of my little teenage head. You take a look at it, you'll see what I said. Yeah. So we got some creativity going on there. This is a way of sharing our great love with you, you know, and a little more energy too, man. I tell you what, there's something about the personal connection of a physical object being passed from heart to heart that, shares a lot more than just the gift of the coffee mug itself, but the love that goes with it, the energy, the compelling awareness, the conscious presence of true reality. Each time you take a little sip out of the mug, man, it's just like me. Every time I take a sip out of this thing, I feel it clear down into my heart, baby. And I hope you are too. So clink, clink all the way around. Love you guys that have already got yours, but remember they make great gifts too, man, you know. And don't forget, oh my goodness, the Coyote Rescue kit there. Now, if you're having troubles with psychic attacks and shit, you know, if you're still living a little bit in the land of fear, in other words, well, here's a little something, some comfort to reassure you. Another little gracious form of our love. Our brother over there in Oklahoma, Dave, he makes these things by hand, you know, these beautiful little stash pouches with a little crystal latch. And then we include a nice little handmade crystal pendant that he indulges and blesses too, you know. And then old grandpa, you know, adds a nice little bit of love and energy to it. And the way it comes to you, you know, via priority mail or something, really quick, man, as quick as I can get it to you, you know. And babies, there you got it, you know. And you just keep your valuables in that little stash pouch, you know, however you feel like using it. But put it into use right away and bless that little pendant, and if you're scared of it, run it under some pure water so you clarify the energies. Don't worry, you know, Grandpa would not contaminate you with anything other than the most gracious and pure of love, of course. And you wear that gracious thing around your neck and you feel the angels dancing with you. Your life begins to change. You start to see it a lot more simply. I'm not promising you a life without difficulty, but an end of pain is very visible. And when you no longer contain the pain, you're free, babies, because that's when you find the maximum creativity. That's when all parts of your presence no longer feel separate and alone and isolated in any way inside of you at all. And therefore the world around you becomes in a far more harmonious vibe too. And just because you shared a little gift with yourself, this Coyote Rescue kit, which of course we share here each and every day in a mystical sort of way, so this is just a way to put the material world in agreement with it. So if you want to share that little gift with yourself, you can ask our buddy Jiru. She's been wearing that little pendant for a while. It's a rocking thing to do now, ain't it, darling? Yeah. Just put it up there on the page and tell everybody what a great thing it is, honey, you know, because, wow. You don't want to miss out. If you can do this, I mean, if you got a few bucks. If you don't, it's okay. I share it with you anyway, man. But if you got a few bucks, help us along the way. We help you get out there and play in a far more gracious way. And it just happens naturally. You don't even have to think about it. Just be present in the energy of the love that you feel, and that'll bring the love right out of you with great, great zeal. And you'll start living far differently than you ever have before. And finally, life will become a satisfying place of being as your eyes open and are given through the heart's awareness. And you got disclosure and then some. You start to see what's truthfully in the reality in which you're playing this little role. You begin to see the rock, the medicine, the soul, the heart, the flow, and then the persons that go with it that you didn't even know, but they've been united with you for generations now. This is always a group effort. There is no one that's alone. No one. I mean, and you've all seen the hand of what you think is divine or angels or whatever in your life, helping you along the way, performing things magically so you survive long enough to do it, and so on and so forth, But what you don't see, what you don't realize, is that everyone has these energies and angels and beings of great power with them, living this life with them. And the more conscious you are of the universal presence, the heart inside, and all the great love being felt and experienced there, the more empowered your buddies are to help you, and the more you will see of them, and come to realize the massive nature of your personal little life. It's like a great big old gigantic tidal wave on the ocean. One little human life. Man, this old ocean got lots of tidal wave, don't it? And one big huge one to go with that, too. One that wipes away all the illusions in which we play. And brings us back to that mother lover that we really are. Indeed. When I say mother lover, it's not a derogatory term now, is it? We love the mother that brought us into being. We love the energy of her love that carries us forward into the presence of this being. We honor the natural marks given us to remind us of the mother in her heart and everything that's in us. And we honor these precious parts, these universal, united energies we call our physical presence. We honor that gracefully. And when we allow the sun to caress our skin as often as we can, and as often as we be alive in that sun, we feel it rising inside of this personal presence, with all of its divine apparatus through which we can energize and feel ever more greatly the zeal of our living. That's what this little carcass is. It's not just a hunk of meat. It's a divine experiential tool through which creation flows into being quite joyously. When you find that contented place, when you're finally united in all of this heart, then you'll know what it is to come home and know this heart, the gigantic orgasmic eruption of the most contented love there could ever be, equitizes all the reality and puts it in the feeling place too. You see, you got to remember the paradigm around us is still part of the hologram, babies. And it's collapsing in on us too as we rise up in our conscious awareness. In other words, we begin to see the unity of life and the lack of division between it. How all life is living together and dancing harmoniously on its way through the grand experience we call love, which is life living in motion. See? Oh, darlings, here's a sweet hug for you. And the gift of ever-present awakening, that we remember it all and become then that which we remember ourselves to be. For that is our truth, don't you see? And that's what we've come here to live, quite naturally. Graciously dancing through the stars, which are us. And the stardust, too. We're made of it all, man, and it's made of us. Children of the universe, unite. With your very own heart, take flight. And be the parents that gave birth to the children as well as the universe that brought it all into being in the first place. Understand what I mean, jelly bean. Be in your heart. You're free. But you've got to allow the expansive nature to take its rightful place within you. See, we've been so programmed and conditioned to deny any nature within that might even indicate a bit of divinity in us, let alone the absolute presence of divine in everything. We've been conditioned and trained not to see such things. So if you feel any resistance inside, well, take it for a little ride. Show it something very different. Live in paradise, because that's what you deserve, because that's where we are anyway. Understand the flow, you got the glow, and baby, you just transformed your entire earth and all of creation with it, and brought it to that feeling place of being once again. Notice how all this music, no matter how silly or how great, kind of evokes certain feelings, man. You know, it's an orchestra of feeling here. It's orchestrated feeling, synchronized by the energy of love we call the universe, and all the universal hearts that work with us here in the spaceship love, and there's gazillions of them. But we have a few primary angels that are our functional assistants, and from there outward, wow, We've got the entirety of creation flowing through us here, each and every one of us, including this old oracle of love we call Grandpa Coyote. What a vessel, what a vehicle. Though he's just a scrawny little cow kid. I mean, you know, you look at him and you think, gee whiz, where did that come from? What is that? But there he is living it, you see, and living it with you together as a unified tribe and in the same vibe and basically going through the same experience and with you always, along with the rest of the universe too, grandly assisted by those who love and care for us in the energetic realms, in the energetic way, as well as in the personal reality. Because the more you gather within yourself, the more you gather your tribe around you here in this material reality. It's inevitable. And though we be scattered across the face of the earth, listening in here to this Coyote Medicine Show, only on the Hazy Radio Network, we be united as a tribe already. And we're gathered in Ontario, and we're gathered in Crestone, and we're gathered in Bimini, and we're gathered in the South Pacific on that magic little island. No one knows where it is, but there it is, etc. And we're gathered in the heart of the universe, which is Mother Earth and all of us united. The nuclei from which the heart is made, you know, from which the sun arises, etc., from which creation flows into being. That's the nature of a human being. Yes, indeed, babies. So says Grandpa here as we start to get that medicine flow. Going again on the medicine show we call Love and Reality, babies. Embrace ourselves, don't you see? Love yourself and just be. Because that's what we're here to see and be and feel our way into. The rest that is real. And let your eyes open as they see what you feel. This is creation in motion. And now you know it's motion. And you can live more creatively out of its ocean, its wealth. Love that is abundant forever. There is no restriction, no limit. No amount of abundant experience you can't gather to yourself. No amount of wealth is ever denied you, for this universe is rich with the loving empowerment of creation. You experience it not then through a bank account or by getting golden stars from the local Illuminati. No, you experience it by coming forward in your creative essence of person. And there you find something much larger than a bank account. There you find something worthy of creation, for it is creation. The great love you have as a person for all that is, and for all that is living within that too. Wealthy place of being, wouldn't you say? Now you're just starting to catch on. Yeah. How about it, man? Rockin', eh?